And we are live for the first episode of Safe on Talk. I'm here with Chris. How you doing, Chris?
What up, dude? What's good with you?
I'm good. So yeah, the first episode. I'm pretty excited about this. I'm not gonna lie. This has been years in the making
too,
for
man.
me.
This is dope.
Yeah. So yeah, how's your day been? You just finished
My
up with a
day's been
tournament on
fantastic.
Saturday.
The tournament went well. Had a lot of players from Buffalo, Syracuse, and all over Western New York. So that's always a dope thing. But yeah, man, just finished the tournament on Saturday.
Yeah, I was there. Buffalo showed up pretty heavy. That was nice. As I was
Yeah,
walking
that's
around more, because you told me they came like 20 deep or something,
yo.
and
It
I
was
walked
like
around.
literally like 16 players deep. I was like, wow, it's been a while since they came that heavy. So it was really good to see, man.
Yeah, and then I started walking around. I started seeing even more Buffalo jerseys, and I was like, oh yeah, they really did come in hard.
Yeah,
Did
man.
any of them win anything? Like
Uh,
top grand finals?
yeah, I think who won? Actually, no, Max won Street Fighter and he won Guilty Gear, and we won Tekken. I think they won King of Fighters. Like their Buffalo's King of Fighters scene is tough
Oh
right
yeah,
now. Jesus, yeah, man, and they heavy with it too. Like out of the 16 that came, like 8 of them played KOF. Um, and then they won Mortal Kombat because Ludi's a monster,
yeah,
obviously. So yeah, but they won a couple tournaments, man. But we defended home turf real good, so I'm happy about that. They didn't come
nice.
in and sweep like they wanted to.
Yeah. Did Max won Guilty Gear, obviously, but was
Yo,
it as close? Because I saw you put on some clips on Facebook of him playing the finals against that Zato. I forget who it was, but those were mad
gosh, that
close.
kid, he's from Buffalo. He only been in part of their scene for like 2 months. That kid is tough. I tell
Yeah,
you, that boy's good.
Zato's
So
tough
he
in general, and if you got someone,
yeah, man.
he's the one that you said he likes playing Zato because he likes to keep shit complicated, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
But
understand
he's
that,
good.
but okay.
I can't remember his tag, but he's young, man. He's like you could tell he's like he wanted. He's hungry. So, but he put Max in losers for the first time. Like Max had never been in losers
Oh
bracket
no shit.
in Guilty Gear in this Western New York period. So the fact that Max had to come back from losers, but then he beat him 6 games straight. So
Yeah. Was that this
in grand
tournament or
finals,
last tournament?
that was this tournament. So he beat
Oh
him
wait, he
six
put him
games
in
straight in
lose.
grand finals. Yeah,
Damn. Nice.
yeah,
So
man.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, so got some decent topics on there. I know you want to talk about the price of majors, got some DBFZ,
Ooh,
some Diablo news. Punk gets blown out in Texas Showdown. There's a couple of
what?
reasons I wanted to show that match. Yeah, and
Okay,
about a no name, but we'll get into that too. I got that
okay.
up. And yeah, and my screen is shared, correct? You can see everything? Well,
No,
you see a
I
black
can't see that.
box?
I see your handsome face on this nice
All right,
headshot that you have here.
let me make sure that that's working real quick. All right, how's that? Better?
Yup, there we go. Now I see Texas Showdown, the
And the
box.
echo's gone?
The echo's not here.
Hell yeah. All right, we're rolling the intro. Let's do it. All right, this is episode 1 of Safe on Talk. These episodes will be up. I'm planning on doing it, putting them up the day after, so every Friday I'm on the YouTube channel. I'll put the YouTube up on the stream, but it's just YouTube/Safe on Talk.
Dope.
You'll be able to find us after I do a little bit of editing. And yeah, first thing I want to talk about is I want to show you this majors blow up in Texas Showdown, and this was very unexpected because you'll notice that the person he's playing, his name is Don, I believe, and he's kind of like a no-name, but he plays Eno, who usually isn't in the finals at all.
Okay.
And this is going to go relatively quick, but we'll just let it run.
Let's see.
But to see a Soul, like, get aggressed on like this, I'm not gonna lie, was like the greatest sight in the fucking world. Like, they're already over first round.
I mean, I think Red Foreman's making an appearance because that
Damn.
going in.
It was like 4
Not
seconds.
yet, though. Not yet.
And you can tell Punk's shook because he's not calling out any of his dash unders at all. He's kind of respecting him. And this, I should bring this up. He sent Punk into losers very handily.
Damn.
So like people are like, nah, Punk's got this. He's coming back. He's not gonna get done like that. And he just he gets command grab.
Oh my god!
Look at Punk. Look at Punk. He's literally like scratching his head. He's like, oh, okay.
Like, who is this?
Yeah, that's another thing. I don't know if someone who's watching this knows who Don is, but I'm pretty sure they even said the commentators are like, we don't really know who this guy is. But I mean, that's what's great about fighting game tournaments. Like anyone, like
Anybody.
Charlie every day, like could come in and do this to friggin' Punk.
Right, which is dope. I know one thing I love the color scheme. But you know, I just want to say that. So I just want to put that out there. It's beautiful. Well, he didn't get dusted that hard that round.
I honestly don't think. Well, he might take a round, but
That is, look, this is oppression.
oh yeah,
This is oppression. Like, this is how Max plays people with Nago.
yeah.
God, he's not letting them breathe.
Oh, yep, goes for the quick little reset.
Okay, that's good grab.
Shaking hands,
All
but
that.
Bring her out, and oh wow, gonna continue going. Not gonna get the wall.
I love Soul's DP, man.
Punk staying alive.
I love everything about Soul until you play him, and then I fucking hate everything about Soul. He's a dick.
You're that good right now, Don. I mean, you smell it.
Thing is, what makes him so annoying half the time, he's got that. Look at Punk.
Punk is like, what is going on? He's confused. I'm like, nah, what's going on here?
K-Brad this whole time, he's been drunk as fuck. He came up with like an empty scotch glass one time. He's just like yelling this whole time. He is turned. He was more exciting than this match half the time.
I believe it.
Ooh, but that's a good sign.
Okay,
right
yeah,
there.
that's good.
Stopping the big tree.
He tested
Now it just keeps
the
on coming.
undergrad
You
that
wanna put
time.
this on the 5K? You can't. That's the money,
Undergrad,
but
rather.
you're out of dollars. Okay, oh man, show me the money. Splash, okay. Make that count, Punk. Come on,
Okay, now Punk players will give you
championship point here for Don.
some of that guilty gear.
Good catch.
Ooh.
Good catch.
What a
Hey.
PRC.
Clean.
Like, this is how you gotta play Soul, too. Is you can't be scared, because if you give him neutral, he's just gonna slash you to death and just fucking start the most ridiculous RC combos, and 70% of your health is gone. And this is the part I love. Punk literally looks at him, and he says, I haven't seen that before. He's like, I don't know what to do with that. Look at him. What the fuck? I don't know what the fuck that is.
What is that?
We saw it live.
What is
Dog,
that? What is
one
this,
round
bro?
away.
Oh, what is it like? Yeah, I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this, Punk.
We bring that to the main
Yeah, oh, this is grands too. Wow.
Yep.
Right now, the main
He
stage
got
is all
bullied
on
in
Don's
grand.
favor.
That's
Punk is
rough.
so afraid to challenge. He did double stroke, and this is looking like a wickety
Look
wash.
at
At the moment, the
this.
bait on the
That is
burst again. He's in
ridiculous.
Punk's head.
You ain't giving them nothing.
And that's it.
Wow, listen. That's the whole set.
I think the fastest set of the night.
I love that when Punk gets washed, he just accepts it. You know, he doesn't get salty. He's not making excuses. He just puts his hands up. He's like, I don't fucking know. Yeah.
K-Brad is like, nah, son. Don't come over here with that trash.
But it's all right though. Is Don from here? Is he from Texas?
I like your little setup, though. That's a nice little stage.
Yeah, Texas Showdown is nice. I was
Yeah.
watching it a good amount.
That was violence. That was violence.
KOF 15 finals was also kind of a wash, but you know, if I showed a KOF matchup, we'd be here until fucking tomorrow. So
Oh God, like you gotta show one round. That's it.
yeah, well, half a round. We ain't got all damn
And we
day.
just gotta guess everything else.
Yeah.
That's all. That was wild, yo. He watched them like, yo. We only watched that clip for like. Normally we'd have to skip through because things were so long. You didn't have to skip anything.
No, not at all.
Like,
Yeah, it was I think like 6 minutes or something like that. 6-minute grand finals. I mean, it is Strive,
wild.
so the friggin'
yeah,
the
it's
damage
quick.
it goes a little
Quick,
bit quicker, but still, that was just crazy. Punk didn't take
That's
a
still
round.
fast, but yeah.
So
Jesus.
yeah, just straight oppression. But I thought that was funny,
That was-
and I also wanted to go over that because friggin' the sportsmanship of Punk, I thought was really cool. Where he just like he's getting destroyed and he's he's got all this clout, but even him sometimes he's
hard.
like, I don't know what the fuck to do. Like you are
Right,
beating my
no.
ass.
It's hard because like I watch other players and they can't accept when they get blown up like that. But I think honestly, Punk is more what's what I'm looking for. He's more comfortable in his skin. Because when
Yeah.
you're comfortable in your skin, you can react like that. Like, yeah, I got blown up, but I know I'm still dope. Like that, it doesn't mean
Yeah.
I'm trash all of a sudden. Like, and I think Punk knows that. He's won so much to where like he understands in the fighting games, like sometimes things just happen and you just get steamrolled and there's nothing you can do about it but come back to live another day, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think it's dope. I think I'm on the same boat as you. I think it's dope that he was able to take that ass whooping like that, like pretty soundly, and still be like, "Hey man, like yo, good games."
Yeah.
GG, you know.
Like I could do that, but I suck. So there's no clout. There's nothing like that. So when I get my ass beat, I just I had fun.
Right.
But when you
Right,
can do
right.
that as someone that high level, that's expected to win that matchup, and still be
And now that's
still be
someone
that
who's
chill
won
with it, that's
before.
awesome.
Right. Like and I think like there's a bunch of people who don't like Punk who happily watched him get washed just now, and Punk knows that as well. But even then, like knowing your detractors and haters are out there, and you still like, hey man, like what you want me to do? I ain't never seen that before.
Yeah.
For him to still be able to do that and have that level of just awareness, I think that comes down to self-awareness. I think he's able to handle that, man. Like he didn't handle it like a chump. So I respect that. I definitely respect that.
All right. So next, what do you want to talk about next? Did you want to talk about the majors money controversy a little bit?
Let's do it. Well, yeah.
Or do you
think,
want to wait? Do you want to wait a little bit? We can talk about some other stuff.
I think let's do. What is this? Diablo on the screen? You can throw that up.
All right. So let's do some Diablo Immortal news. So that is the famous Diablo game where you saw it when it was announced, got all the boos, and there's a guy that literally got up and went, "Are you fucking serious?" Or something like. I don't think he swore, but he was just like, "Oh no," he said, "Is this a joke?" Like he said it like loud and clear, because people wanted Diablo 4, and they're like, mobile game, and people were pissed. I'm gonna put a little bit of footage up on this.
We've been working with 3 for a long time, man.
For fucking ever, and there has been a good amount of Diablo 4 footage coming up, but I mean, so they announced that they're releasing it for PC. I mean, it just looks like a lower graphics Diablo 3, and it's not even hard to run Diablo 3.
It does.
So this is like something to talk about, but I don't even think it's really news because Diablo 3 can almost run on a toaster at this point. So so putting this on PC isn't really gonna help much. I don't think anyone's gonna play this on PC unless they have like a really old laptop, maybe. But it really does. It just looks like a lower graphics Diablo 3, and I mean, I'm sure I'll play it because I mean, I feel like I have to because I'm such a big Diablo fan.
Right.
And the controls should probably be good because it is Blizzard, and they've been working on this so long. They got the normal button controls right here for the skills, so I think it's a decent layout for how the game works. And then a lot of people will play this with a controller because there's so many, PC or mobile phone controllers and stuff. But what do you think? You think you're gonna give this a try when it comes out? I think it comes out this summer. No, it doesn't look like something.
I'll just stick with 3. Like if this came out before 3 and it was like a middle of the road, like kind of like, all right, we want to give y'all 3, we'll give y'all this in the meantime. Then yeah, I would have played it happily. But like, this feels like a step down, and I'd rather just play 3. Like I don't know. It don't look like something I want to play. Like it looks worse than the Switch graphics.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. It looks like a real budget ass Diablo 3.
Yeah, man.
I think the only reason I'll give it like a fair shake at first is because it's free. And that's literally the only reason. If it was like $5 on the App Store, I'd be like, no, that's not happening. So
is this PC gameplay right here I'm looking at?
I think this is mobile. Actually, that's a good question. I think this is mobile because they just announced it for PC a couple days ago, and I believe this gameplay footage was.
I like the
this was from months ago, so this is definitely the mobile version. So maybe on PC it might look better, but
a little cleaner.
What's up?
It might look a little cleaner on PC.
Yeah, a little bit.
Mhm.
I don't think it's gonna be enough for this to like really matter. To be honest, I think it's still gonna.
No.
I
It looks
still
like a
think.
Band-Aid.
Yeah. So,
I don't understand why
controllers.
work on that. Like, why not put the work in the 4? Like, I am starving for 4, son.
Yeah. Have you seen any of the 4 stuff?
Yeah, I saw some of the Now look at that. That looks dope. That screenshot right there looks dope. Like
Yeah.
the clip,
So
yeah, that looks like
the
oh
menu's
shit.
gonna be sick as hell, but after that, shit gets a little squirrely.
The menu's doper than the game. Yeah, I've seen some 4 stuff, man. I like what I see so far. I'm ready to jump. But I've been ready to jump into 4 for a while. Listen, I've been playing Diablo 3 literally since my store back on Culver, man. That's back in 2014.
Yeah. No,
They
same
almost 10
here.
years in. Dude.
I've been playing the seasons every time they've come out in the last like couple years. I'll only play it for like a week or 2, but
Is
it
that
gives
4?
me that.
Okay.
What? Yeah, that is 4. Yeah.
Is that 4? Okay.
I think this
Okay.
is the newest that came out. This stuff.
Oh, I didn't see this one yet. Oh, that's sexy.
I mean, it looks hella dope. I mean, it's got to be a Diablo game, so it's got to have this kind of this ARPG look and everything. So there's only really so far you can go with the graphics. So I think when people see stuff like Elden Ring or stuff like that, they're like they make such like leaps, but it's like for a game like this, like I think this is the biggest leap you can technically make. Like you can only make something look so sharp, but the textures look high res. They haven't announced a real money auction house yet, so the game's still got a chance. And but I think it'll be good. I mean, it looks pretty dope. They got the same skill format in the bottom, so
that's what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad it doesn't look like they're doing anything crazy to like completely change from Diablo 3. Like they're keeping they just up the graphics. They'll just probably add a bunch of new fucking items, and all that, and learn from the mistakes they had with Diablo 3. Because when that game came out, did you play that when it first dropped? And they had the real money auction house.
And I was like, ugh, no, I don't want this.
Yeah.
So I didn't even get to the real money auction issue. What I'm saying?
Hey, Sam, how you doing, bro?
So yeah, I like the gameplay I'm seeing right now, man. This looks fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really good.
I'm not people who I'm not graphics whore, so like it doesn't need to be like, oh my god, this is. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. I mean, I still play a Diablo 2 mod, so it shows I don't really give a shit about graphics. So.
Right.
But I don't think it has a release date yet.
So far.
I think it'll probably come out early 2023. That would be my guess. But I base that on nothing other than just how long they've been working on it. So I'm not.
Yeah, man. How long have they been working on it? Like 5 years?
Might even be longer than that, to be honest. Because I feel like they announced. Yeah, I don't know. I think it might have been longer than that, but.
You think all the other issues is what like slowed down?
Well, COVID obviously didn't fucking help anybody, so I'm gonna assume that that probably put them back at least a year. So it probably would have came out this year, but probably next year. Oh, that's a cool ass move. Is that the Druid?
Yeah, I like that shit. I'm using that one.
Oh, that is the Druid. Dope. Werewolf. He's got like a target tornado.
Oh, word?
I like that.
I might be the Druid. I like that.
Yeah, let's rewind that. I want to see that wolf again. That looked
yeah,
dope.
That's tough. Oh, that's one of the moves. Okay.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, that looks clean. I like the way that looks. Look at that.
So he doesn't have the cyclone that just spins around him anymore. It looks like he just like sends it out. Oh, that's cool. Oh, you know what? So he just turns into the animals for that one specific move. And then he just changes back.
Oh, look at
That's
that.
what it looks like.
Yeah. I wonder how it's gonna look with multiplayer though, because you know how sometimes like some of the details aren't in it when you have multiplayers on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wonder if that's how that's gonna change, because I'm seeing all single player stuff right now. Who that?
Actually, some guy with a hat.
I have no idea.
All right, so that'll be cool.
That's me right now. Come on, you got me excited again. I'm glad you showed me after you showed me the mobile gameplay.
See, you lead with the disappointment. That's how you do it. You under promise. Yo, check out this Immortals game. It's gonna be the sickest shit. I can play it while I shit. It is going down.
Like no, it's in it.
So yeah, next we can talk about. So DBFZs, we were talking about this at the tournament. I was talking with your boy there when we were in the office, about how overpowered lab coat,
Oh my God, yo, the
lab coat
command
Android
grab
21 is.
21%, I think, right?
Yeah, so that's I think the main thing. There's a couple things. She's got a bunch of really convenient lows. She's very fast. Her range game is really good because her projectile's super
God,
fast.
look at that. Look
And
at
even when
that.
you block it, she can get in with her lariat. So like her range game is on point. Her mix-ups with her lows are ridiculous. And
Oh,
I think
that's
the most
wild.
blatant obvious shit is her command grab level 1 super nerfs your damage 21%. Buffs your super damage 21%. It's not overall
You
damage
said that
like I
lasts
thought it was.
the whole match?
So it not only for the character, and even if they
Yeah.
tag out, it still stays. So you can never get it off that character.
That's
So
wild, bro.
so I was looking at I saw a report. They said DBFC's base is tanking after she released, like a couple weeks after, like people stopped playing, and I think it's just because people are so. It's blatantly
Well,
because
really,
she's so overpowered. Because
they
fighting
were
game
just
isn't
talking about
fun
how the
where
balance was, you know?
yeah. So
So
I mean, a
that's why
fighting
come
game
out like,
isn't fun if like
yeah,
you have to pick a character or else you're just gonna lose.
yeah,
And it's not like the game just came out. Like most of the fan base now are people that know what the fuck they're doing.
right.
So I saw it has dropped, and a lot of fighting games they drop their percentage base a little bit after a new character comes out.
Mhm,
No fucking
mhm.
idea why. That doesn't make that much sense to me, but
Me
I guess
neither.
it's supposed to dip, but I guess it dipped tremendously. Like the Steam charts I was looking at, it's 35% in the last like month
Wow.
after
They
she's
lost
like really
35%
taken
of
off
their fan
speed.
base playing?
I think what's more
That's no
fucked up
way.
though is I was like, oh, what, she come out last month? Because I haven't fired up this game in a while, and it turns out she came out February 24th or something like that. So they've
She
had
been
2
broke.
months to fix this shit,
Wow.
and they still aren't. So that wouldn't surprise me. Some players are like, they obviously don't give a shit about us. They aren't
I'm
paying
not
attention.
coming back.
I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
supporting this nonsense anymore.
yeah.
I mean, that being said, she looks fucking dope. It's a
She
shame that
looks
she's
amazing, but like, come on, you gotta,
yeah. It's a shame
you
that
know,
playing her makes you well now to play right now playing her just means you want to have a fucking chance at winning the damn game.
right.
But yeah, I'm hoping they fix her. I think if they just they got to really tone down that leech, maybe down to like 10%, and then like if they tag out, it negates it or something. But 21% and then 21% are supers. A 42% swing on a level 1 command grab is
Yeah,
just like
that's too
stupid.
wild. That's
That's
too
way too
wild.
crazy.
I think you should be able to tag out and get it off you if nothing else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or if you tag out, you got to be out for a certain amount of time before it gets off of you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
And
I
maybe
think
there's
something like that makes sense.
a penalty to how much life you regen while you're
That's
behind
all.
recovering from it.
That's all.
But there
Just
has to be a
something
way
like
to get
to
out of
keep it
it.
on the
Yeah.
whole time is wild. And like you said, it's such a big swing. That's 42%.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's one or the other. You got to figure out which one it is. Like that, even that might be a little better, but like 42%
Yeah.
of
And
damage. Man.
a lot of fighters, like when someone comes out that's over, like who's super strong, it takes some time for people to know how to use them. So when they first come out, you're like, this seems kind of cheap. People learn how to play them. But then you just
Right.
realize it'll be like little frame data stuff. But when this character comes out and you hear the 42% swing, it's like, I don't even have to play this character to know that was, like, what the fuck were they thinking? Like,
And her
that just
lows are
sounds
crazy.
ridiculous to me.
Her
Yeah,
lows
she's
are
got
crazy.
super quick lows.
Jeez, I saw how fast it was coming out in this clip right now, and I'm like, there's no way. Like,
This is
I
she
would
ain't
put
even
the
on the
controller
screen
down.
anymore.
I would put the controller down.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully they will nerf her a little bit. People will
He
feel
look,
better
he didn't
about
have
it.
a chance as soon as he came out. Come here.
And there it is. I think that's her level 1 super. So she can do it in the air, command grab, like do it mid combo. So getting it on someone is just a matter of a one touch. So
Did she have like low life though to like counteract that?
see, I don't know because she hit him with that super and she's taking 21% less damage. So as I'm looking at her bar, it looks like she's healthy as
I
fuck.
see what you're saying.
But it could
I
be
see
because
what
of the
you're saying.
special, so I'm not really sure.
I'm asking because like remember Dark Phoenix hit like a truck, but then like Dark Phoenix had the lowest life in the game, so it like compensated a little bit.
Yeah.
Because like once you touch Phoenix in Marvel, like it's a wrap. But if she touch you, it's a wrap. So it's always like a 50-50. Okay, I just gotta get that first hit, and I probably can get rid of Phoenix in one bar. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I mean, one combo. You know?
Yeah. She's probably about average, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Yeah, I'm not. I wouldn't. If I look at this, it wouldn't excite me to see this popping on my screen every single time when I got to play somebody, especially.
No, I think I lost you. Oh, we lost Chris.
Hold on.
Oh, you're back.
You hear me?
Yeah.
What the heck happened?
Can you hear me?
My bad.
Oh, no, you just
Yeah,
DC'd for a
you got
minute.
me?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I'm saying I just wouldn't like to see this on the screen. I wouldn't like that, especially
Yeah.
the tournament. I got to see this every time too. Like it's, and on top of that, like just for the viewership, like I have to see the same thing over and over again. Like part of the reason why some of these games do so well is because especially at the higher levels, for tournaments and majors, you get to see such a variety of characters and so many different gameplays and moves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like to see that now, like like to know that you got to put lab coat in there as a slot, that kind of sucks. It takes away from the game, you know.
Yeah. 100%.
So I understand why people would drop that.
Yeah. And I mean, there were a couple tournaments. Like I remember there was a Tekken 7 tournament when Leroy dropped, and in the top 8, like 6 or 7 of them.
It was 7 of them. I remember that. I watched that tournament.
Yeah, and I was just watching, and I was like, man, I like Tekken 7 is a game I barely played, but it's like one of the most fun games to watch. And I was like,
man.
This shit's so boring me, and I didn't think I'd ever get bored watching a Tekken 7 major. Like I was like,
I'm all for black excellence, but that was a lot to see. Even I was like, damn, 7 Leroy, that is a lot.
And if you got a cane, like, even better.
One time is okay. Like, and they did good about patching that pretty quickly too. So I give
they did, yeah. Well,
the Tekken squad pretty quickly because you didn't see that again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
they balanced that. So that's hopefully Dragon Ball learns from that. But like I don't know, is it Fighters 2 in the mix? That's why they don't care.
Yeah, maybe. I kind of hope so. I mean, they got to be at least maybe not full blown working on it, but they're definitely gonna do one. But I don't know. It took Tekken's
numbers. It was excitement. Like it was a great, like they did DB. Fighters look like how people want Dragon Ball to look for like a decade. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, I think it would be stupid not to do another one.
Yeah, and they're still putting out characters, so if there's gonna be an announcement for that, it at the soonest probably next year during the summer. So.
What has it been? 4 years?
Yep, 4 years I think. 2018.
Okay.
Yep.
That's
4 years.
I mean, that's a good one.
Honestly, what's scary is it might be another 3 years before they even announce it. Because Street Fighter 6 just got announced, and I think that was 6.5 years from then. And Tekken 7.
6 came out in 2016.
5 came out in 2016. Yeah.
I'm sorry, 5. Yeah, my bad. 5 came out in 2016.
Yeah, so like 7 years just for the announcement, and then Tekken, I think came out a couple months after 5.
Yep.
Tekken 7.
Yep.
So, and they haven't even announced anything. Oh yeah, I bet.
It was hype for like maybe like 6 months. It was a good between 5 and Tekken. It was heavy, and I was like, this is good. This is a good time right now. Man. Everybody's playing, enjoying the games, and then obviously that 5 debacle happened, but I at least know that first tournament we held it was a good a good little run there.
Yeah. All right. You want to talk about the price of majors? I could think of a couple of topics, but I'm gonna let you.
Tweet. Yeah, a tweet came out, right? So there's a tweet that dropped one of the big names in the FGC. And let me pull it up. That way I can just reference it. So basically the premise was like they people are saying, because majors are pretty expensive to go to as it is, hotel travel and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Before you know it, you spending $200, $300, $400, $500. And then on top of that, like depending on when you pre-register for these tournaments, you may pay $85, $95, $100. emergency registration is like $140 at the door, stuff like that. So like you're paying a good chunk of money.
Yeah.
And basically, one of the guys came out and was like, hey, like I just want to let y'all know. Why is he doing that? I just want to let y'all know, like they're we're not making as much money as y'all think we are. We're not really coming out even without sponsorship money for these big tournaments. And so a lot of people looking like, how you got thousands of people paying $100? You know what I'm saying? Like, because like look at it. If you look at it like in this past tournament, I think it wasn't Pound. It was one before that. Genesis. Genesis had like 4,500 attendance, bro.
Yeah.
And the pre-reg number, like I'm talking months in advance, like half a year in advance, was $85. I'm sorry, $75. So even if I pre-reg the soonest I could, so it's at least $75 for 4,000 plus people, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's like 300K, 340 something K, I think. Somewhere around there. So
Where
like,
was it? Where was it at?
Genesis was in Michigan? I don't know, I gotta look.
But I meant like they probably rented out a big convention center kind of thing. I mean, they got 4,000 people. They don't have a choice. I don't know the price.
I mean,
it sure as fuck isn't more than what they got. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, you know, and listen, I've had some tournaments like I'd be like, whoa, this was closer to me not making no money than I realized. Oh, damn, I literally broke even this tournament. So I understand these things happen, but it's also not on a major level, and I'm also not charging, $85, $100 per person to be in a tournament. So like, I think people are looking like, well, what can you break it down? How are you not making as much? And yes, you do got to pay out staff. You got to rent gaming generations. Like I don't know how much it costs to rent. Like they have hundreds of systems ready on deck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like PlayStation 4s. I would say Xboxes, but like nobody really plays Killer Instinct. But for the people that do play KI, like they have those. They have switches on deck, so they have a whole bunch of equipment. I've never had to rent from them, so I don't know like what kind of money I'm looking at here. So I don't know, but like it was just like he was like, yo, we don't make as much as y'all think. And so a lot of people was like, what do you mean? Like how much? And he was like, yeah, we have to, like, in order to make a good money without any sponsored money and without all the extra stuff like that, in order for us to come out decent, we would have to charge $104 more on top of what we already charged. And somebody was like, wait. So you mean to tell me, like, just for venue, we'd have to pay close to $200 for you to come out good? And so there's been this huge backlash ever since. Like, there's no way that it costs that much to run a tournament. So now people are starting to try to crunch numbers and they're calling venues to find out how much it would cost to rent the place for a weekend. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because people trying to fact check. And what I understand, like, these things happen. Like, it's been a big, like, are you really being serious about like this costing this much, or are you being greedy? Because I think you got to pay out the commentary. And most majors, man, they got like, it's like 20 different commentators on it at least. If you run in multiple games, you got 4 to 6 people on rotating. So you have to pay those 4 to 6 people major money because they're commenting a major.
Yeah. So
like I understand, like before you know it, it can roll up to the thousands, tens of thousands. But when you at that level and you got, your baseline is 75 for people registering. And by the time you get to the the close to the deadline, people got to pay $115 for the venue. People looking like, how did you not, like, how many people did you let in here free? Like, did you, like, how is it you got 4,000 something people to show up and you telling me you didn't make as much as the numbers would lead you to believe? So there's just been this big outrage and outpouring of like, there's no way that it costs that much to run a tournament. But a lot of people that are the big names, the guys who run CEO and Big E and Shin Blanca and all, and they were like, yo, y'all be surprised how much bread it costs to be out here, man, and be running this stuff, man. So Jabali, there's like, yo, like it's not, a lot of people think they can do this because it looks simple or it looks like, okay, you just got to do X, Y, Z. But even with us, like just organizing things on a local level, like it can cost some bread, man. You talking about when you try to do pop bonus money, you try to do giveaways, and they do stuff like branding and swag bags and all that kind of stuff too. That stuff gets pricey, D. So I guess it's just there's a lot of people who like it's almost split down the middle of the people who like, nah, I can see where he coming from, and people like, man, get the fuck out of here. I'm not trying to pay that much money to go to a major just so the top player. And that's another thing too. They like, This is just so top players can get money. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all, because the other thing was like, well, why are we at majors and still paying $10 for a bracket? Like people like, because let's be real, these top players, like they should be making a living off of these tournaments. They should be able to make a decent living off these tournaments. Like you're winning and you're beating hundreds, and sometimes with Smash, you're beating thousands of players.
Yeah. I mean, the amount of money the top players win is like public. You can go online and see how much they've won just of them keeping a record.
Look, FGC is never high. Like a lot of people call it the fighting game community poverty. Because our payouts are always the lowest, and we typically have lower end stuff, like the console. We're not doing with high end, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $7,000 PCs and the highest end this and that and the third. Like we typically hover along that poverty range when it comes to like payouts and stuff like that. But they did say like, yo, we should definitely for majors, it should be, you pay whatever for the venue, but then you got to pay 25 per player to enter the brackets instead of 10, which I kind of agree with, but I agree with only from the stance that means playing out more players, right? So now instead of paying out top 8, you could pay out top 16. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Stuff like that will make more sense to me. Obviously, the top players should get more money, but okay, now instead of the top 8, you could pay out the top 10, top 12, top 14, 16, whatever. So bigger paydays would be better for players who play and players who put so much time, effort, and energy to it. There's a guy who's like, yo, I only wanted to get good because like I wanted to have some clout with my stream because I know I can make more money streaming tournaments and stuff like that instead of going and travel to majors.
Yeah.
And it's a shame that you have to feel that way. Like I can make more money sitting in front of my desk than I can traveling to a major tournament, which is supposed to be a big deal. And so like that's been the main thing, D. Like the community is pretty split about how it's being handled. And they don't really like it at all. So that's been the thing. And I've been asking people opinions about like, what do you think? If you had to travel for a tournament and you had to pay $100 for the venue fee, and then you had to pay $30 for Guilty Gear to get in, would that be something that you would want to do?
I mean, I would say the goal if it was me personally, because I'm not going to place that high in any of these tournaments. I'd rather you be able to pay out lower. So whatever would make that easier on the venue. That's what I am personally going to pick. The better people that have a chance of making top 3 or even winning it are just going to want whatever makes it easier for the prize pool as a total for first and stuff. But I just think it's funny that even in like the fighting game, there's like politics, like show us your taxes. Like we don't make that much. Like no matter where you go, it's like, nope, prove that shit. We want to see numbers. We want to see like everything about it, but
that's another thing too. Like in each state, it's different. Taxes are different. Like what we have to report and pay out in New York is different than what they got to do in Texas.
Yeah.
So in Texas, they keep more of their money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's another thing too. Like in New York, they like, how much did you make? Come right over here, sit down, good sir. Yeah, let's discuss how much of that we're going to get.
Absolutely.
So New York, they definitely got their hand deeper in than like, than I personally would like, you know what I'm saying? Especially like running my store and everything.
I mean, that's no secret. Damn. That's not even a hot take. Like New York takes a ton in taxes, and it really screws us over because it's because of New York City. You know what I mean? It brings the average income of the state to be not reflective of like up here and upstate, but that's a deeper topic for another time.
That is a deep topic, man, because there's a split. Like some people's like, well, just if you're making that kind of money, why do you care anyway? Just pay your tax. And other people like, I know you think it's a lot. And again, that's why I can understand both sides. So like, there's been times where I've been like, you making more than what you saying. Yeah, like if you don't your math ain't math in the way ours is. So something's going on here. But then on the other hand, I've been times where people looking like, oh dang, you had 150 people show up, or I know you in the money right now. I'm looking like, damn, after these payouts, it looked like a lot. I'm counting 2 racks, but then when we pay everything out and we do all the pop bonus and all these free tournaments, these free to enter tournaments people got in, I didn't walk away with as much as I would have liked. You know what I'm saying?
So
it's a lot.
So you said you could see both sides of it, but if you had to choose, do you think that they're being a little greedy, or do you think they have a point where you think they aren't making that much?
I think they have a point only for the fact that, like, okay, if we want the FGC to stop being looked at and considered poverty, we have to stop treating it that way. So, like, I think that if people are really putting in that much time, effort, energy, and like you gotta think, like the venues, most times venues don't say like, well, just pay us after everything's all done. Most venues want their money up front now, you know what I'm saying? And they want their money, if nothing, at the very least, they won't have. So if the venue gonna cost 10,000, hey, we need this 5 before we can even talk about locking the date in.
Yeah.
So and look, even when I was looking for stuff for this regional here, it was I was looking like, how much you want to charge me for the weekend? I was like, and it like there was one guy who told me it was gonna be 6,000 just to rent the space, and then I'm out because he didn't have enough chairs and tables and outlets. I would need to rent my own generators and rent my own tables and chairs too. And I'm like, that's not a good deal. And I definitely would come out in a negative the way that, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm somebody who's running it for the first time. You know, my money ain't it. I don't have the clout or anything like that built in. You know what I'm saying? So like I don't have the money sitting there like, oh yeah, sure, I'll 6,000. That's all. Let's do it right now. So for the bigger tournaments, like I think the people who have gotten like to the point like, okay, we know you make a decent amount of money. I understand where they're coming from as far as like, yo, it's not that much. But again, my main thing is like if I had to choose, I would err on the side of like, okay, let's pay this little bit extra more, and then like that also gives TOs more wiggle room to like do more giveaways and stuff like that, because we can see the FGC just don't get the bigger number and the big amounts of money thrown at them for sponsorship and stuff like that. You know, the only thing that's kept Street Fighter V so relevant is something that they're not doing for most other games, which is like Capcom is just throwing bread out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, so I think
like go ahead.
I do think that they're probably like they're doing fine, but when people start saying you're being greedy, you're making like this hand over fist money, I'm kind of like, no, slow down. Like you said, they got to pay commentators, you know, security, like that shit adds up. So do I think they're doing all right? Yeah, I think they're probably doing pretty well.
Yeah,
but
they should be doing
they're
okay.
they're setting up successful ass tournaments. Like, you know what I mean? You aren't doing this shit to stay in the same tax bracket for 20 years.
It's not easy, bro.
Yeah.
It's not easy. I promise you, like, just local tournaments. Where I had my 150, tournament was 150 players. That shit wasn't no joke, man.
Yeah.
It was a lot going on at once. So I can imagine 1,000 plus, you know? I can imagine 1,000 plus players, like, just all over the place. And you have to worry about brackets and seeding and payouts and trophies and what you call those things? Passes for people who just come in to watch, the spectator passes, and like there are so many different elements that are going on at once, and you just like. So again, from a massive level, I understand. And again, I think sometimes people don't look at all the things that have to be paid out.
Absolutely.
Gaming generations ain't cheap.
Yeah.
You know, for them to allow you to rent all that equipment, you think they're gonna be like, oh yeah, it's just 1,000. It will be good. No, like they probably want $5,000-$10,000, if not more, for that weekend. You know.
Yeah.
So
And honestly, you should see too, like if someone raised the prices, the only time you should have a serious problem with it is if the event gets worse or like you don't see anything. Like then that's the telltale sign of, all right, you're just taking this shit and running with it.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it's like 20 more, you know, and then you go to the event and you're like, wow, this is nicer than last time. They got a couple extra booths, you know. Keanu Reeves is over there signing fucking autographs. Or just if you can't see minor improvements and there's like a jump in the thing, then that's the sign. But until then, like, cut them some slack. It adds up. Like, I guarantee they didn't roll up in a fucking Aston Martin. You know what I mean? Like, they aren't like flaunting shit. So
most people who run those, they don't they're not pulling up with a Tesla.
Yeah, exactly.
And obviously, I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of people who have it big like that, they've either been doing it for like 10 years plus, or they already had, you know, the financial backing to jump in and throw major money at it from the jump.
Yeah.
It's never really somebody, you know what I'm saying? So like, it's either one or the other. Like they had the brand from the jump. They just doing this because like, oh, I got the money to do it. Why not? Or I've been doing this shit for 10 years and I finally got a point to where like I can take care of my family or actually like live life. Once I host this tournament, whatever, I'm okay with it. I say I'm with you, D. Don't be greedy, but like be realistic about the payouts for people and how things have to go as well too. Because like if it goes from paying out 8 to paying out 16, I'm for it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
That's it. I just wanted to touch on that, man. Like,
and on a last point too, like you said, this is like a lot of these people, like this is a passion project. You know what I mean? Like the people that got here that run these events, they like at some level love doing this. You know what I mean? No one with a bunch of money came up to him, to his investment manager, and was like, "Yo, you know what's mad lucrative? Guilty Gear tournaments." Like, that shit didn't happen. You know what I mean? No one was
It's
like,
not.
"Yo, you are gonna fucking kill it if you just put $100,000 into fucking, you
KOF.
know, KOF." Yeah. So
It's not happening.
at some level, it's a passion. So that's a good thing about it. So you got to kind of give them the plausible deniability. They aren't being assholes about it. They're generally want shit to succeed and people to have fun and a good time. So
And I'm not so for. If it makes the event better and it allows more people to get paid out, it allows more people to like be able to focus solely on that and still make a living doing that. I'm cool with it, man. Like I said, these tournaments is expensive to go to. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? And so like if I'm a top player in the world, then yes, I would like to get paid like I'm a top player in the world. You know what I'm saying? If I'm better at this than the vast majority and I'm in the top 1%, yes. I like to make money like I'm in the top 1%. I'll never get mad at people for being dope at what they do. It just has to be a balance, a game of checks and balances within the. And on top of that, you don't want to say fuck you to the other 98% of the community. You know,
yeah, yeah,
you know, like, well, y'all just here as cannon fodder, so be happy that you're here to cannon fodder for these great top players. You don't want to do that either. That's why a lot of my tournaments, I do a lot of free to enter tournaments, and I do a lot of free to enter stuff, and I do a lot of raffles and giveaways because I know, like, hey, it's important that y'all here because these tournaments don't happen if only the top players show up. Ain't no tournament. You know what I'm saying? Nobody gives a damn if it's only 16 players, but they give a damn if it's 98 players, 100 plus players showing up. So you gotta keep that in mind, man, when you're dealing with these things and making these numbers. Like, if you're going to be charging more, that means that you should be not to the point where you're not making no extra money, but like it should be balancing out to where people who come to your tournaments are getting more for coming to the experience too. Even if it's just all right, I'm a cover 10 people hotel expenses. You know what I'm saying? Just random stuff like that.
yeah.
So I'm cool with that.
All right, so couple quick stories before we wrap up.
I bet.
Strive's new story mode comes out the 29th, so that'll be cool. So that's tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
So, tomorrow.
We in there.
I still haven't played through the Strive's original story. I'm not gonna lie, but I guess so. It's like it's more like a movie. You don't play it, you kind of watch it. But Strive's lore is actually pretty badass. So
I like it.
Yeah, I watched a couple YouTube videos about it. Them just summarizing the story, and I was getting super into it. So I don't know why I'm dragging my ass on watching the Strive stuff. But so yeah, I'll probably go through the Strive story, and then I'll probably look at the new story, and maybe I'll talk about that a little bit next time. Diablo 2 Resurrected's ladder finally starts, and that starts tonight. Yeah, starts at 8.
Okay.
So I'm going to be playing that this weekend. Oh, for sure. I'm pretty excited. It's cool. Did you play Diablo 2? I know you played Diablo 3. Did you?
I played a little bit. I played a little bit of 2. I beat it. I can't remember if I played 2 or 1 on PlayStation 1. What was out on P1?
The first one was on PlayStation 1.
Yeah, I played that one heavy on P1. I didn't get the P2 heavy, and then I came back in Diablo 3 heavy.
Yeah, 1's the OG.
It was, looking back, it was booty butt cheeks though. I was like, God, how did I play this so much?
It doesn't hold up, but
no.
It's
it was
terrible.
dope at the time, but it's like, okay, that was one of those games like it had its shine, put it to the side.
You're basically Kane. You have the black robe, like you're just like hovering. You're just hovering everywhere with your stick. Like, yeah, it does not look good, but
it wasn't great, man. I was like, damn, I really went in on this, and because I went back to play it, and I was like, it doesn't feel as good as I remember when I was a teenager. This is not the same.
No, it is not. Couple other things. Spider-Man Miles Morales. This happened a couple weeks ago, but
okay.
But what's it called? Beyond the Spider-Verse? I forget what the sequel's called, but the sequel they announced is going to be in 2 parts, so it's going to be 2 movies, which is cool. And then it got pushed back to 2023. You saw the first one, right? The End of the Spider-Verse?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I love that movie, so that came out that was pushed back, and that was kind of a bummer, but I'm sure when it comes out, it'll be amazing.
Into Spider-Verse was good though. I wasn't.
Oh, I love that movie.
The storyline was good. Like,
it was
action
funny.
Was crazy.
It made me,
a lot of witty lines too. I like that.
Yeah, it made me tear up a couple times. The whole storyline with him and his dad. Like,
I had to keep it together.
Fucking
my kids,
yeah. Like anything that can put you when an animated movie like that isn't Pixar can put you through that roller coaster of emotions. like that's a 10 out of fucking 10.
That's
like
a fact.
it was
That's a fact.
And apparently they released the first 15 minutes of it at Comic-Con, and what was it, Comic-Con? They let people watch the first 15 minutes, and people were saying, like, yep, it's just as good. Looks like it's gonna be great still. So that's
I think
pretty
that's
exciting.
cool. And that's the thing too. I was like, eventually when we get kicking it, Dustin, I love to talk about like what these cons can, like PAX East and all these like San Diego Comic-Con, all these places can do. Like now that we're back. And even now, what's the one we used to have where like E3, right? E3
I guess they're not
something now.
I guess they're not doing that this year either.
No, man. Like they got, but it's because like everybody's like, well,
they have their own
announcements now, right? So with E3, it's like it's got to be. I think you said that just now. Like they allowed the first 15 minutes of Spider-Man to be viewed. I'm like, okay, E3's got to start doing stuff like that. Like, you're going to see something here you can't see anywhere else. Like you're going to see the first 15 minutes of this, or you're going to get gameplay of that. Like that used to be the thing at E3, but now people kind of gotten away from that. So I think this year they're not doing it because they got to like, okay, we gotta recalibrate this thing and get back on track and like give people a reason besides the pageantry and the fact that it has the name E3. It still got to have like something there that it was worthwhile me coming there for. You know what I'm saying? And I think they've lost that over the years. And now they're trying to gain it back. Like the fact that E3 isn't running is huge. You know what I'm saying? Like if you really think about it, like E3 was the place like you've heard everything first.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, oh my God, did you hear that? Oh, they dropping it this year? That's crazy.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, E3. Well, we heard that already. What else you got for me?
Yeah, it was must watch every year. So that's gonna be a bummer if they don't come back and they don't come back strong. Because I miss E3. But another problem. Another problem they got hit with is people are doing their own shit now. Nintendo has their own shit. PlayStation has State of Play. They do that, I think, every couple weeks. Like
Nintendo Treehouse is always something that's happening.
Yeah, exactly. So they were just like, we have more control over it. We don't have to be like tied down to a specific date that we didn't decide on. So they're up against that too, which kind of stinks. I do like how PlayStation does like the State of Plays and stuff. So there's more stuff more often, but it's not nearly the same as that E3 hype though.
No,
you know what I mean?
It's when E3 you expect to be like, oh, like there's some reveals for E3 that literally gave me goosebumps, and I was like,
oh yeah, dude, when the Final Fantasy VII remake reveal, I was losing my fucking shit. Like I'm getting borderline goosebumps just thinking about it now. I lost my damn mind. Yeah, that was dope. When Cyberpunk, when Keanu came out, in the Cyberpunk announcement, that was dope. That was E3.
That was dope. Oh man, Cyberpunk, Jesus. It has so much potential.
Yeah, I still beat it when it was buggy because what I told people is some people were pissed off about it. I was like, it's so buggy that like it just makes it feels like the game more comedic. Because you just kind of accept it, like at certain times, as long as it's not game-breaking bugs, which I did get one. I had to restart the game completely over after like 6 hours because it completely fucked me. It was mad annoying, so I should technically hate the game, but I still liked it.
Probably wouldn't bother. It probably wouldn't bother our generation enough because like a lot of us at one point in time didn't have a memory card, so some of us had to start over anyway.
Yeah.
So like, if any generation was like, okay, we can handle it, it's probably us.
And even the memory cards would mess up sometimes. I had
I
had the yellow Mad Cats with the pages. Sometimes full pages would just delete, and I'd be like, I wasn't even like taking it nowhere. It was just sitting in my damn PlayStation,
the yellow and black
and it still would delete. Yeah. It had like the black stripes on it.
I had the same one.
Yeah, it had the black
I thought I got a bad memory
circle.
Card, G.
Yeah. That brings me back.
Oh man, listen, it was so crazy because like I remember I copied all of my saves. Like I'm an RPG dude, so like my Breath of Fire, my Final Fantasy VII, my Star Ocean, my Suikoden, my Saga Frontier, all that. I copied all of them over to the Mad Cats. One like, oh, I got more space now. I got pages. I copied them over and erased my shit, and I erased them from my.
Before you tried the new one.
Oh my God. Yo, Dustin, I was ready to cry, son. Like I'm a 17-year-old, like triathlete football at East High School, like football, basketball, baseball, and I'm ready to cry over some video games. So
you're all excited. You go to fire up the game. There's no saves, and then you're just staring at the screen like.
I was like, am I tripping? I'm readjusting. That's exactly how I felt. I was like, I'm trying to flip through them. Like, nah, maybe I just hit the wrong page. It was gone, dude. It was
Oh
gone.
man.
So
I
I feel your pain with the 6 hours being erased with
Yeah.
with Cyberpunk. Man.
The worst one for me was I got a like a 200-hour Final Fantasy VII save and it got corrupted, and I was pissed, but I was also using Game Shark on it, so I was like, I kind of deserve this. Like, I was Game Sharking on it for like the last 40 hours. I was like, all right, like this makes a little bit more sense.
It's part of the game. Listen, I've learned years ago. I have like 4 or 5 backup saves on everything I do. When I have a game that doesn't allow me to backup save, it almost makes me stop playing it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I need my backup. Even with Diablo, I have like 11 different characters on purpose. Like, if something gets corrupted, I still got some other, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just gives me peace of mind as a gamer to know that I don't have to start from ground zero if something happens.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, Keith, anything else you want to talk about?
Man, I don't know. We covered a lot today, man. This is a good start, dude.
Yeah, this is great. I'm gonna get this edited for anyone watching or people that missed it. I'm gonna get this edited. I'll either put it up Friday, Monday. I don't know. We'll see what the editing process is like. And then, did you want to do this weekly, bi-weekly, Thursday? I mean, we can figure it out later, but it's really up to you.
We could do it weekly, man. I'm here every Tuesday and Thursday, so like that'd be, if we could fit 2 of them 2 days. I am perfectly okay with either one, and just drop them whenever you feel like it.
Yeah. No, I think that'd be awesome. I'm excited. Like I said, it should be up Friday or Monday. I will put that on the Rochester Fighting Game community. Now that we have one under our belt, I'll be like, look, it wasn't a fucking train wreck. Because a lot of these things, especially when you're friends with the people, can be mad cringe. Because you're like, I don't want to watch it to be bad, and then I have to tell them it's fucking good. And like, it's shit like that. So, but I think
I'll
it
tell
would
people,
great.
be honest with me. If my shit trash, let me know.
Yeah.
Don't lie to me.
Even if you said that, I wouldn't be able to do it.
It is trash for 16 episodes, man. Come on.
And then once we get a little bit more viewers, I'll throw around that +2 on talk, because I like that too. Maybe we'll switch that. We'll see what people think. I'm fine with that too.
It could be a different segment.
Oh yeah, yeah, I'd be down for that. Yeah, that's my plan, is eventually to have some segments. I'd like to have people on for like some trivia. Give some people. I'll pay for Manny to get some hats made or something. I can send out some HN hats.
Manny, nice.
Help him out. Oh yeah, for real. Yeah,
so look, we even eventually I'd like to get to the point where we playing some games together too.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, that's another thing I was gonna say is this channel is my normal channel, so maybe once or twice a week I'll do like a scheduled 3-hour, and I'll just play something, and then maybe on Tuesday we can get together and like play a game for a couple hours and stuff like that. But yeah, I think it's a great start, and if nothing else, we'll plan for maybe next Thursday or even Tuesday. But I'll let people know on the fighting game community. And if that is it, I'm gonna roll the intro, and thanks everyone for watching.
You mean the outro?
Yeah. I mean, I love the intro. I might play that first. But no, the outro. And then after that, we are out, and that is the end. So thanks everyone for watching. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
And good shit. Bye, everybody.
Peace.
Yeah, you're right. There's always something to be trying to do.